Sending data, streaming on Twitch. We're still sending data to the other two. Streaming on YouTube, streaming on Facebook. All right. We'll wait for at least one person to get on here before I'm doing anything. But yeah, I do agree that starting everything early, and then I'm gonna do the special thing right at the beginning and right at the end, so that people who get on later can see it. It is interesting though because of what today is. So like, I do kind of feel bad about that part. But all right, we got a couple people watching, so thanks for joining us. We're gonna get this thing started with the intro first, and then we'll be back in just a second.
Warning. The following podcast episode is a couple of the same old jerk-offs talking about happenings in the axe-throwing world. It is meant to be informative, but can sometimes be downright boring. If you get bored, that's okay. You can stop watching, because someone else might find this informative. The opinions discussed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of our peers or any axe-throwing organization. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sit Your Axe Down. I'm Kyle, Lucas over here. Thanks for joining us. This is episode 23, I think. So, before we get started though, I know this is probably going to sound like we're going to do an in memoriam for something totally different, because this is 9/11, so this in memoriam is not related to 9/11, but we did have a casualty at this weekend's tournament, and we just want to pay our respects to this casualty. We'll do it here at the beginning and at the end, so I hope the handful of you that are watching enjoy. So, unfortunately, that chair bit the dust this weekend. Best part about that was that I was actually sitting in it moments before that happened. So Tyler had just finished a match, and I stood up. We chatted for just a second. Tyler sat down, and it just was gone. So I was seconds away from being the one on the floor, and Tyler just, wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, that was fun. We were excited to have the cameras back there for that to happen at the Neptune tournament this weekend. What did you think about this weekend, Lucas?
It was good. I mean, I thought everything went really well. Seemed to have a lot of good feedback from people this weekend, so that was good. Yeah, so I mean, just overall, it was, I think, one of the better tournaments. I think things are kind of at least trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I thought it was a great tournament. It was maybe a little overshadowed by the release of the 2025 beta rules, like 5 minutes before we walked in the door for the meet and greet on Thursday. So there was a lot of talk about that stuff throughout the weekend, but yeah, I thought it was a good tournament overall.
Yeah.
Not that a tournament at Tribal Axe is ever a bad tournament. I think they've all been good. What you betting on?
I'm just seeing that Asia Wilson bet that I had missed by half a point. That's cool.
Half a point.
Young missed by half an assist. That's cool.
Nice. So, if you're not aware of what the Neptune's Cup was the penultimate. Thanks, Tyler, for the word. He used that all weekend. Penultimate tournament for Waddle. Penultimate major tournament for Waddle this past weekend at Tribal Axe in Virginia Beach. We'll run through, I guess, first through fourth. I think we have written down and everything. What did we start off? It was knife and knife duels, right? On
What?
Friday. Friday was knife and knife duels. So fourth place knife was Sebastian Arnold. Third place was Tony the Tiger, Thomas Santinello. Second place, who got second?
Me.
You did.
Yeah.
Yep. Lucas did. And then first place was Coleman. Coleman did pretty well, though, I think, all weekend. Definitely in the knife disciplines, but I think it's been like the first major to see him at other than Ohio, right?
I think so.
Maybe Riverbend, but I don't remember. So yeah, we had Coleman in first, Lucas, then Tommy and Sebastian. Knife duels was second thing on Friday, so two really quick disciplines. So helpful for those people who can't get all day Friday off or wanted to travel in on Friday. But knife duels, we had David Corley and Brady Pennington, who I didn't really know until we got there. But Brady, I think, did good in everything that he threw in. Saw him in am hatchet and standard knife duels, hatchet duels. He did good in all those things. Third place was Austin Bach and Dylan Teets. Second place was Lucas and I.
Yay.
And then first place was Justin Reese and Coleman Bates again. So, yeah. So Justin and Coleman, Lucas and I, Austin and Dylan, and David Corley and Brady.
Oh,
Nice.
I'll let you guys know if I get it or if he was just lying. But
Yeah, I think he's just lying. He ain't gonna apple cash it. We're waiting. We're waiting, money.
yeah, we're just gonna pause here until I get that $10.
Wish I had like a quick button that had like the Jeopardy countdown thing on it. You just say some chicken. Where were you guys eating at?
We went to Toots.
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely sound like you were in a fishbowl in that meeting earlier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, money is definitely not sending $10 to Lucas, even though technically he wrote that down. So I think it is a contract, and Lucas fulfilled said contract.
Claims he sends 11. Oh, it's loading. Oh, he did.
Yeah, he sent $10.
Yeah.
And a $1 tip.
I don't know.
Confirmed. All right. There we go. We got a bunch of other people saying they're also smiling, waiting for their $10. But anyways, we'll move on to Saturday in Neptune's Cup. Saturday was Hatchet Day, which cruised. We cruised right through. Those had plenty of time at the end, which we want to talk about more here in a bit. But started out with Am Hatchet. Tribal Axe last year was the first. Was it the first Am tournament?
At least for sure the first one we did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know for sure if it'll,
Yeah, I think it was one of the first like separated Am tournaments. We did it as a part of our Pro League series last year at Tribal. Really enjoyed it. Was excited for the fact that we were going to have a separated division this year. But Sam Smith, who just put some eyes up there, he finished in fourth place. Brady Pennington, who we mentioned earlier, finished third. Hagen Gooden finishing second.
Not
And
bad.
then Joshua Babel just
Ooh,
threw awesome all day in Hatchet.
another new AM winner, right?
Yeah, is that a new one at everyone?
I think so. No AM has repeated.
Which is good. But we've had repeats in like placements, just not in winner, the winning spot. Because Hagen got second and
Yeah.
then finished first. So, but yeah, after we got down to enough lanes to start advanced, we went ahead and got started and ended up finishing Sebastian Arnold in fourth, Joe Devine third, Justin Reese second, and Lucas Johnson takes the win.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see.
Money Matt is the best axe thrower they've ever seen.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I just wanted to make.
Sorry, I win. Send that $20 my way, Matt.
Yeah, but it's got to be Apple Cash, so you're never gonna receive it.
I have an iPad.
Oh, okay.
Hagen equals kryptonite. Yeah, Hagen's a stud. I saw a neat post. I think Brandon Elliott posted it about Hagen and how he was like super impressed and thought it was really cool. See this young kid come out throwing two-handed because they both are two-handed throwers and I thought that was really neat to see. See other people who are just discovering Hagen and how talented he is as a 13-year-old. So
He's all right. Yeah, he was. I mean, he also did pretty well in Big X.
he did.
I mean,
He did. That's I think really where he was referencing like how great that he was in Big X.
yeah.
Which was the first thing that we did on Sunday. Big X finishing out. Big X was our largest individual bracket. We had 60 throwers in Big X, and then we had 30 teams in duels. So Sunday was a big day, which is why I was mentioning we'll talk about other things here later. But Big X finished out fourth place, Dylan Teets. Third place, Austin Bach. Second place again, Lucas Johnson. And first place, Tyler Flynn. But first and second place both were Nukes, right? Yep. Bullmag Nukes. So shout out to John and Bullmag. Looks like Nukes are taking over the Big X world. There were a lot of nukes being thrown.
Yeah, I was happy with second place because did a completely new throw. Was
Were you
worried.
not stepping? Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't step.
Nice. Probably doesn't make anybody who finished below you excited, but we just talk about axes. We don't throw them.
No.
But we do have to talk about the 4-ounce head that got sent to you, David, at some point. So we'll be in touch. But after Big Axe was duels, once again 30 teams in duels. It still went fairly quick though. I was slightly worried at one point early on in the day that we weren't going to make our flights later on Sunday, but we cruised again. We got done actually very quick. But top 4 duels with Cody Jeanette, Mark Tennant in 4th place. David Corley and Brady Pennington. There's that Brady Pennington name again. He finishing 3rd. Second was David Klein, JT Malashevich. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't, JT, I apologize. And then first place, Duels, who started out the day with the very first game with a 64 and finished out the day with a 64, was Tyler Flynn and Dylan Teets. So,
yeah, I think they were cheating though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How were
I
they
mean,
cheating?
I don't know how or anything. I'm just saying. I just want to start the rumor.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But that's it for Neptune's Cup. We had a good tournament. That's the top 4 for everything. Little bit of issues at the airport on Sunday. Hopefully, maybe Jenna will get an update at some point from any of her complaint things. She coming in to fill us in on anything? Get any updates? No.
Can't think of anything.
Tyler Flynn definitely cheats. That's why he's a cheater. That's very true. Very true. He also cheats because he knew the 2024 rules before anybody else did. So
Exactly. See? And he was running the bracket, which obviously helps you throw better.
it's very true.
When you're really distracted and you have a bunch of other things to do.
Definitely makes you throw better. But yeah, I've seen Matt mention it more than once. Where's the registration for Indy? Indy is our next tournament. It's the final WATL Major of the year.
Guess what? I'm going to post it.
Right now. We don't have the schedule yet.
Oops. I just posted it. So sign up at your own risk if you don't know the schedule. I don't know.
That's very true. We'll chat about that on here. So there in the chat is the link to register for the Crossroads Chaos, which is the best name I could come up with. Crossroads of America is what Indiana's called, and Chaos is just a C word that fit. So, but that'll be at Flying Squirrel, second week of October.
I think so.
Yeah, about a month from now. So yeah, I think it's the 11th, 12th, 13th. Don't quote me on that. Just go check the signups, and it'll probably tell you in there. But we'll have a schedule up very soon. We were talking.
I don't think it does tell you.
What's that?
I don't think it does say it on there. I don't think it dates or anything.
He just posted it just like bare bones.
I mean, it has you fill out the information, which is important.
That's true. But yeah, so we're running the final major of the year that weekend. The following weekend is the Howl at the Moon tournament in Michigan. So if you're going to Indy, it's not that far. Next weekend you can go up to Michigan and throw in the Howl at the Moon tournament. So support those guys.
I missed like the first part of what you said, and I thought you meant that Howl at the Moon was next weekend.
Oh yeah, no, the next weekend after ours, yeah.
Next weekend, and I was like, I might miss that.
The next tournament from now is the Masters of Axe Throwing in Augusta, Georgia. Is that right? Yep.
Yep.
At
I mean, it could be something this weekend. I don't know, like something smaller.
Oh, I'm unaware of that, so I apologize if I missed anybody else. But just the next one that we're potentially going to. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Matt must know his like name or his player ID or something because he said he was going to sign up as soon as I posted that link, and I haven't seen any signups.
He also said he was going to send $20 to the first person that said that thing, and I'm pretty sure that
he said that he Venmoed it to you.
Oh, he did Venmo me. He did Venmo me $20. It's a little hard to see. It's very hard to see.
We believe it.
All right, well that's cool. But yeah, so I've mentioned multiple times we're going to talk about the schedule stuff. So there's about 20 or so people on here. A handful of people in the comments look like people who go to tournaments. Do you guys like doing the schedule the way we do it now, where we have? Do you guys like doing the schedule the way we do it now, where we have?
We're good at bug. I was trying to bring a cat that would get the bug.
Yeah, the cat's not getting up there, and
You got to push mute on that, Jenna. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so we do knife and knife duels on Friday, which tends to go pretty quick. We still end up with a decent amount of time to eat and go to bed afterwards. And then we do hatchet on Saturday, which the last couple we've had a lot of time left, and then Big Axe and duels. So if we were to shake anything up, Big Axe has been probably the largest bracket at some of the larger tournaments. So we would potentially maybe run that on Sunday by itself. I'm really hoping Tyler's also in here so he can tell me if I'm stupid or not. But would you rather do, what would you do on Saturday after Hatchet? Like knife or knife duels, one of those two, or just throw Hatchet duels in there? Honestly, if Hatchet's that short, I would say Hatchet duels after. I mean, it would. What did we do Hatchet duels in this weekend? Lucas, do you have any idea?
What did we do? What?
Probably 4 hours.
Yeah. They were about equal.
They were about equal. That's kind of what I suggested, Tyler, was to potentially move Hatchet duels and knife duels to Friday, and then add standard knife after the Hatchet events, because I think it would run a little quicker, and then Big X by itself on Sunday. Totally stupid. Good balance of time. Looking for your feedback. Yosh says second.
Yeah, because Yoshi was actually first. He beat Matt.
So Tyler thinks keep knife together on Friday, throw Hatchet duels after Hatchet.
I mean, I think that works.
I think that sounds just fine.
It just depends on the venue, too,
Yeah.
and how many people, are signed up. Because honestly, we haven't had any problems getting through the day on Sunday.
Okay, so second part to this question. What if we left the schedule as it is and then altered the schedule as we got closer? Would that upset you as a thrower, or would that even matter?
I can't imagine that it changes if somebody's going to come on Sunday.
Right.
But I think as long as you're keeping knife on Friday and not moving something to Friday, then I don't think it changes much.
Yeah, I was just thinking for like the people who would throw Hatchet duels, like if we started out saying it's on Sunday, moved it to Saturday, I doubt it would make a big deal. Like, are there people who are just coming for Hatchet duels?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe local people, but I think Ryan could communicate with them pretty easily.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we can also leave it the same, just we were close to having an issue with several people having flights already.
Yeah.
So
There'd be plenty of time for that. Well, we got a pretty good little crew on here tonight. A lot of different people.
That's what happens when we do it 2.5 hours earlier.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay, well, I say let's just go ahead and keep the schedule the same for right now. And then we can take a look as we get closer. And if we need to make any alterations, the alterations would only be a potential moving something from Sunday to Saturday. So.
No, we'll still have an amateur, David.
Oh, yeah.
We just finished. So,
or we'll just call it advanced and pro.
Yeah. There'll be something there.
We'll post the schedule tomorrow. But
yeah, we'll make up a schedule
just
later.
look at Denver's schedule, and then it'll be the same as that, except a different thing surrounding it. So, first sign up for Indy. What you got to say now? Can I throw AM?
You would have to email Waddle.
You can throw AM, but you don't get any circuit points or anything for that. Or am I just confusing everybody and talking about 2025 rules?
Yeah, that's next year. Pay attention.
Well, why don't we?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I need to pull up the beta.
All right, Lucas is gonna pull up the beta. It could start earlier in the day. The last day probably flying out Sundays. Yeah, I did think it felt very nice. It did work out really well too. I think we had a very conscientious group of throwers too. Like people were very prompt when they got called and they were going to their lanes, and we had great volunteers jumping into judge, which always helps. So yeah. All right, you got that beta up.
Yeah, I got some options.
All right, 2025 rules. They came out last Thursday. First time probably every single person watching and the two people talking even saw or spoke about it. What do you think?
What did you say? Sorry, I was responding to Matt.
I said last Thursday when we all got the new rules. All 35 people watching and the two of us talking. It was the first instance that any of us knew anything about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean, my initial thought was that, I mean, I'll say I don't hate them if we're just taking them as like a standalone thing, for the most part. But several things, I mean, a lot of people have said, you know, it's going to be pretty easy for, a lot of people. Um, Also, the big X and duels change. I'm more on board with the duels one than the big X one. I, I like adding a throw. I don't really see the need to change targets in either of them. But if you were going to change targets in one of them, I could definitely see changing it in duels because sometimes, like,
The
depending on
construction.
how you stand, the lanes are tighter one way or the other. So, I mean, I think it is what it is.
Yeah,
I,
like I don't think boards aren't an issue anymore. I mean, we're throwing on cottonwood boards, and I mean, sure there are people who have axes who have literally just bought it and they're just opened it up and threw it. But like for the most part, like if you're dropping on a board, like make adjustments so you're not dropping on a board.
yeah, I mean,
Like
a you have a practice throw,
yeah,
so there's one way you can test the board. Secondly, um, if you do have a drop because of a hard board or a spot on the board or whatever it may be, having the extra getting to switch after two throws isn't going to be enough to do anything.
yeah, because I can tell you if you drop on a board on the other side, like I'm already gonna have in my head like that I'm not gonna drop on that board. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah, well, I mean, I can just
step back. I'm not going to drop on the board because I've had my axes profiled by Gabe Grinnell, and I can stick it into any knot on the board. Like
yeah, but I mean,
throw pine in it. I mean, I'll throw it. I don't care.
it's just yeah, I don't really see how it helps anything by having that. So
Yeah, but I do agree with the lane construction because not everybody uh, had like a construction crew come in and make sure all their shit is like perfectly centered and that there's enough space on every side for you to throw duels in a logical manner. Um,
yeah,
so
yeah. So I mean, there are some advantages for the dual part, and I don't mind having an extra throw for that. It gives you a better chance to be able to. For that one, it gives you a chance to be able to come back because you can make up more points and things like that. But I don't I don't see how it really changes much. I mean, for Big X, it just seems like it's going to take so much more time. I mean, duels is going to add a lot of time too.
yeah, and it's interesting in Big X, like do you like duels? Obviously, like adding a throw doesn't really matter. Like you're still gonna end up with each person getting a kill shot, which is what you have now. But does
Yeah,
Big X stay 2 kill shots? Does it go down to a 1 kill shot? Like they didn't address
doesn't
that.
say.
So
It's a toss up. You just yeah, I guess that's just something you don't know the answer to, but you need to fill out the form.
Yeah, I know, Robin. I saw your comments. Boards can be an issue, but um,
Oh, because right now we don't have an even number, and the game works fine.
yeah,
Is my thing. I don't think that they actually, if they are an issue to where they're causing you to have drops, um, then I think that's a venue thing.
yeah,
Because at tournaments that I've been aware of, there have not been those issues, and if they have, then they're usually remedied very, very quickly. So,
yeah,
and if you are having that issue, feel free to reach out to Elm City Axe Boards. They'll happily send you some boards that will not cause that issue.
yeah. I mean, even Elm City though, like, even in a venue, like if you're not changing out your kill shot boards every single league night week, like they can dry out and get hard. I mean, that's just a that's just the nature of it. I mean, I don't know a venue on the planet right now that feels comfortable enough to change their boards to brand new boards every single day, every single week. It just isn't logical from a cost perspective. So
Yeah, I don't think you have to change the boards. I think just, as long as you're staying on top of them and watering them,
yeah,
they, yeah, I haven't seen any. When we were open, we didn't really ever have any issues with
yeah,
keeping that. So,
yeah, same. I mean, you know,
ooh, so Ryan Smith brings up a good point. Ryan, I have suggested that for the last 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. I think the first time I suggested it when I was asked about rules and potential changes, that was actually my first suggestion, and that was at the U.S. Open in Minneapolis, and it was promptly shut down. And every time I've brought it up since then, it's been promptly shut down as well.
yeah, I agree.
Um,
I like the idea of throwing multiple things.
I like the idea of actually throwing more things, but at less targets. Um, yeah, I mean, almost everybody has at least two axes. I would say there's very, very few people that compete to have less than that. So I don't understand why at least couldn't be the advanced division couldn't be throwing multiple. But I don't know how exciting, and it would make every match different. Like that's what makes knives exciting is that putting one knife somewhere changes where you can put the next knife or where you should, and if you're going to risk it.
Certainly.
And so I think putting it for, axes, it would be even more, you know, then, throwing a 1.5 wouldn't necessarily be for, you know, for 15, but just because you had to, it would be because that was the only spot you had available.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's always what I've suggested for advanced stuff. Now, like Mike Morton just said, yeah, I mean, I don't expect my new thrower that just joined league to be like, hey, I'm gonna buy two axes to start. But but yeah, I don't know anybody that throws even just throws in duels and throws in regular hatchet that doesn't have two.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll happily hook you up with somebody that can donate one if the rules change to that.
Yeah. I
Might not
mean,
be
even
favorite.
just throwing Ace Hardware hatchets, like,
Two Ace hardwares might be the way to go, honestly.
yeah, they come very thin already and put a longer handle on them. So
Yeah, I think now here's an idea. I think that John Cotter should host a bull mag tournament. I mean, probably not at his place, but at
we can find a place.
yeah, we can find a different place where all you can throw are bull mags. Maybe even just out of the box one too. Like you can't make your own handle. Like you gotta have the handle on it. And I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to do something like that. I mean, we essentially pro-am. Anybody who competed at the pro-am has got axes. They don't care if they get messed up. I mean, we had to throw 3 axes. Each person had to throw 3 axes at the PBR challenge. I mean, so there's quite a few people who signed up for that who have multiple axes. Like, let's just do it.
Rain Axe, it'll be okay. People will still buy yours for every other tournament.
That's the only downfall I would see there is like there would probably be less people who are spending like high dollar on some of those things because they're not going to want to tear up their axe. But
They'll just still spend the same amount just twice.
I mean, maybe.
There's a lot of people that would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We get to pick what you throw, John. Everybody else throws bull mag, and you can pick. Oh, Keith, we actually have team events at every major that we've had so far.
Yeah, we've done team skills stuff.
The problem, Keith, is that you have to show up. You got to sign up for them, and then you have to come to the tournament.
Very true. Very true. We've actually been testing different fun things like that all year. We've made a change to one of them this time and realized that maybe it's not the right one to do.
But we also came up with what we're going to replace it with during while we record.
Crossroads Chaos. Yep.
Yeah, so we're excited to play that game, or at least I am, because it was kind of a idea of mine, and it plays pretty good. So I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
All right, we got sidetracked. We didn't even go over the rules, guys. I mean, we kind of did, but we didn't. So 15 foot this is all proposed. This is all still beta. I would say this thing I'm about to say is, man, I would pretty much bet any amount that this one is locked in. 15-foot fault line, gone. I don't think that one's really up for debate or testing or anything. They're getting rid of it.
Yep. See ya.
So that one's fine, whatever. Everybody's gonna have their thoughts on it. But addition of a 3rd division and division specific scoring, pro, advanced, and amateur. I think that's great for leagues, for your venue and stuff, and I'm glad that they're not trying to use it at tournaments. So kudos on that one.
Yep.
League and tournament rules, pretty much, 97% of the time I'm already doing that. I think a lot of people in my league were also doing that. So I think it's fine that, that's how they're going to do that. I think a lot of people wanted that. So that's good as well. Unification of target point values. Oh, I see. That's why they changed the kill shot to 7 and 8. It has nothing to do with the value of the 7 or the value of the 8, or it being 1 point difference. They just don't, because it's the exact same size as the 6, then that's why they changed it. Because they don't want the same size dot to be worth a point, the same point, even though maybe they should
read that whole thing again, because I think you.
Yeah, I think that's backwards actually. So they should have left it the same.
I was gonna say.
They came up with.
I read the unification part as they're just making one set of rules, you're not throwing something different at league than you would at a tournament. That's how I read the unification thing.
Oh, I read it as target point values is what it says. So I read it as this little dot is worth 6 and this dot is worth 6. We're now unifying that to where the same size dot is worth the same amount. So that actually is
it should stay 6 points then.
Yeah, they should have made it stay 6.
And they should have made the outer ones 7 because they're different size. Actually, they should have made the outer ones 8 because they're the same size as the skill shot.
The inner what?
The kill shot up top, the inner kill shot and the outer bullseyes are the same size.
Right now?
Yes.
Yes. But next year, no.
No.
Or the proposed thing. We're only talking about proposed. We're not talking about this year.
Yeah.
Cut it out. Big Axe decreased to 6. Duels increased to 6. I don't know. I think somebody was just bored, honestly, for this part. I think literally they were just like, what's something else we could do? Like, while we're already mixing stuff up, you want to see what people think?
Probably so.
Oh.
Makes sense.
But yeah, apparently they did test a bullseye for the center that was the same size. Apparently some issues during testing. Can't really say that I agree
Perfect.
with it personally.
Perfect games in anything will not change except for. Actually, I guess that would be technically true if you do add a sixth throw to duels. Duels will no longer be a 64.
Yeah, it would be 76, like you said.
76, yeah, makes sense.
Yep. And instead of 46, I don't know what. I guess we don't know because they don't. I don't know
We
if
don't
we're
know how
getting
many kill shots you
2
get.
kills or 1 kill. So maybe it's 40.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 38.
No, we're not referring to Neil's new rule test. We're just talking about the
No,
rules in general.
But Eric was testing. Eric, he was testing the same rules that we are talking about.
Yeah.
So, in a way, yes. But seemed like he was able to pick it up pretty quickly. So, could have thrown a 64 in his first game. That's kind of lame that he didn't. But, just kidding. I mean, those are the big changes. I don't think there was really much else other than that. I mean, I meant to look. I don't even know that I can pull it up anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna see really quick if I can for this little stat. But what do you think, Kyle? You think they're good? You think the Bullseye is too big, too small?
I mean, I don't know that it matters what necessarily think, but I mean, I'm going to throw them regardless. I do think that it got significantly easier. Also think that there are a lot of issues that'll need to be fleshed out in terms of additional clarifications. I mean, you can just literally sit and throw in the center of all three of the center three boards, and you're going to get a 5 or a 6 every time. Or you may drop down and get a 6. But, I mean, you're going to be able to touch both 5s on the outside.
Yeah, which they had a rule for, which was at least they had thought that far ahead.
They had a rule for one thing, but not the other.
Oh, you froze for a second.
I froze?
Yeah.
No, sorry. They have a rule for one thing, but not the other.
Well, they just didn't post it. I mean, I assume they do have a rule for that as well, that you just get the other one, but I don't know.
Yeah, but what if you've already hit the other one? Do you just get to pick which one you were throwing at?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how else they're gonna. I mean, I guess they could just make it a penalty that you hit both, but I don't know.
Yeah. I also think the divisional thing, I don't know that there was an extreme amount of thought put into that either. But I think you can. I mean, there might have been thought put into it, but I don't think there was an understanding of how different ratings are going to be.
Oh, you mean like the classifications, like the people that are going to be classified as pros
1,000%.
using their rating from this year?
Yeah, because those rating numbers are 1,000% based off of this year.
Yeah.
And
it's
going to be a lot of upset people who are forced to go pro
yes.
because it got significantly easier and they're not going to want
Yeah,
to.
so that part will be tricky because there will be AMs that have good ratings that will be forced into pro next year.
Yeah.
Just real quick, how many seasons
I don't think so. I think it will be much higher
of what?
than 800.
800 what?
He
Oh,
said
the
if
rating?
they adjust it, yeah, I think it will be much higher. I think it will be closer to 900.
If I don't throw an 800 rated season with 2025 rules, I would be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, so Tyler and I figured this up. So I'll use my wife as an example. My wife right now throwing in, like, her rating right now, if you were to to take her statistics from the last league of 2023 using the big bullseye and convert it into a rating, her rating would be almost 700 based off of 2023. So those ratings need to be, yeah, Tyler's rating and your rating, Lucas, are well over 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, I had one season this year, the very first season, where I did go for kills from the front at Mighty Axe, that marathon. When I did that, my rating was 778. I also was not good from 15 foot. I threw quite a few fours.
Nope, there's no cap on the rating necessarily. I mean, unless you were throwing perfect 64s. But.
Sorry, I threw quite a few threes instead of fours at that marathon.
Yeah, I mean, it's there are definitely some things that that need to be really reworked. I think in regards to the divisions, but
that's what the form is for. So just make sure you're filling it out.
Sort of.
It'll get fixed. Yeah. So Neil has a 765. I mean, I think all of my other ones have been 7 somethings.
Yeah.
So, but the thing I was looking up was how many seasons do you think that I have with throwing no fours?
I don't know. Let's see here.
So these are 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, but you said how many seasons, or like each individual thing, like where you did marathon leagues and stuff too?
Yeah, just seasons. So I'll tell you how many seasons it shows that I've thrown, and it's 50. Jenna just guessed from the bedroom. She yelled in here. She thinks that I've had 2 seasons with no fours.
I think you've had 5 or more.
Okay. I'll take a couple of guesses from the chat. Out of 50, how many seasons with no four?
Corley said 14.
15, 14, 6, 0, 2. Neil is the closest with never. All right, so the real winner is actually Sean Dunley.
15.
Because I have 17.
17 without a 4. Are they
17.
like the most recent 17s?
What?
Are they like your most recent 17 seasons?
No,
or 17.
They're from
previous
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have another 9 seasons to add to that. So to get to 26 out of 50 seasons, 9 of them I threw 1 for the whole season. So, I mean, I think that's where the big difference is with these huge 5s and 6 is that, I mean, we're talking about, I don't feel like doing the math, but 280 throws, I will. 280.
It's just interesting to me that like
times 50.
You do have to take things like that into consideration when you're doing something like making the rules.
14,000 throws is 50 seasons. And so in 14,000 throws, I've had 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I mean, well less than 100 fours, but close to 50.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you were looking at, like, I think a sufficient change could have just been, if you wanted to get rid of 15, just get rid of 15. Like, I mean,
I do think that maybe that bullseye is too small for everybody. because I know that that's what they were trying to do.
Sure.
But that was why I kind of proposed the
1 inch.
like. Well, I proposed like two bullseye sizes
Yeah.
within the bullseye, and then that could alter based upon what division you were throwing in, which
Sure.
seems like the easiest way to do things. But then also, I think that yeah, if you can't do if you're not willing to do that, then I don't see why we jumped from 0.75 doesn't work. We're gonna do an inch and a half. Like you have to double the size just because. So then, I mean, to me, it seems like you would be wanting to do something smaller than 1.5. So
Yeah, because I do think that, like, what happens when literally the same massive discrepancy comes into effect that what was going on in 2023, where you've now once again shrunk it down to 10 people who are really just going out and literally destroying, dominating every single tournament. And now to go and change the rules again to people who were satisfied, like they wanted these rule changes. Well, now we need to make them harder again because there's not enough people going to things again because, well, they're just donating their money to 10 people or to 2 people. Like, it just seems strange that you would roll it back that much. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
but it is just a beta and things can still change. But
Yeah, so Tyler was right because it's a circle. It is actually 4 times the size, not actual space, but
yeah, you have to go off an area instead of
2 times the distance from the center to the outside.
yeah.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think they will make some changes though after the job form. I didn't see when that is supposed to be done. Before October 9th. So you got time. You got time.
Yeah.
October 9th. If you're in the Nashville area, they're having a marathon on Sunday with the new rules. Can't go, but just imagine that I threw a couple of 64s.
Yeah, I think what Keith says is very. So that's something that a lot of people said with 2024 rules too. Like, oh, why are people changing rules? Like bowling didn't change, cornhole didn't change. Well, they actually do have rule changes. I mean, cornhole just did make 2 major changes.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody has watched any of the first week of the NFL or any preseason game, you would have noticed that they changed a massive change to kickoffs. They've literally turned kickoffs into a practice drill that pro teams, college teams, high school teams do on a weekly basis. They just turned it into a practice drill. So massive changes do happen in every sport, which is what we were saying all of last year when people were saying, oh, they don't make major changes, and baseball's had major changes and football's now had major changes, and there are now basketball leagues who are starting to implement a 4-point line. We'll see if it expands into anything else, but I mean, other sports do change. Axe throwing is, does change, and I don't think it was necessarily something that maybe it was a little progressive to go, we're going to make 5 years worth of changes all at once, but to roll them back as far as they're rolling them back, maybe not the greatest thing in the world. But what did Kendra say? I'm interested.
Kendra said, isn't that basically what's happening now? Small handful is still pulling most of the wins, and it's such a huge hurdle to move into that skill level that people are giving up and walking away rather than trying to improve. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's arguing that the 15-foot was, not something that needed to go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to be fair, I love 15 foot. 15 foot has allowed me to go to every single tournament this year, except for this past weekend, and finish in the top 10. I've never done that before. And I actually only finished one outside of the top 5, other than this weekend where I didn't finish in the top 10 at all. I mean, so 15 foot's great. I'm all for it. And I'm fine with them removing 15 foot and keeping the little things. It does balance things out. I mean, I get it. They're still. I'm not saying I'm winning anything, but definitely 15 foot helped me.
I mean, I think there are a handful of people that like 15 foot, and I don't think that, there's always going to be people on both sides.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to make a rule set that everybody's going to love. But yeah, I mean, I understand why people don't want to do 1.5 or don't want to throw from 15 foot, single spin, whatever it may be. But I think that as soon as you remove that, then I don't think there is that much of a hurdle for people to be trying to go for something.
Correct.
But I think you just make everything very stagnant if you go back to huge bullseyes, is all I'm saying, Kendra.
Now I'm gonna go in another alternate universe where there were no changes to leadership made, and it was still, very heavily, Tyler's still at Waddle, Mike's still at Waddle, whatever. If I were going to make a leap, Tyler, you can probably correct me if I'm wrong. A fair change for 2025 for advanced would have been you can only throw one kind of axe.
Oh, like if the game continued?
Sure.
Yeah, probably switch to that eventually.
Because that would make a massive change. I mean, because there are so many people. I mean, realistically, it's rare to see somebody throwing 1.5. And there are people who are really good at throwing 1.5. The majority are throwing single spin from 15 with a different axe. So if you switch that to single axe, I think that would also be a good change. But all those people throwing 1.5 would have picked the right thing to do.
Ooh, I actually think they wouldn't.
What's that?
I would gladly. I think that I would do just as well throwing one spin from 15 the whole time.
What do you mean?
I would just throw everything from 15 if they imposed that rule.
Sure. You're talking about what Mike said?
No, what you just said. We're just throwing one axe. If I could only throw one axe, I would just throw everything from 15 foot.
Sure.
Throw 1.5 and another one.
But you couldn't based off of the rules right now.
Yes, I can.
Oh, you're just doing... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I know what you're saying. You're saying you would just throw the longer axe from 15 foot.
Correct. I would throw everything from 15 foot.
Sure. So now your maximum length is, what if you change essentially changing the rules to you're throwing a single axe and you're throwing single spin from 12 and you're throwing more than one rotation from the further distance.
I mean,
that's what I was explicitly going for.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're never.
Because I was going to say right now, based on the rules, you can't do that because you can't throw 1.5.
Correct.
In your first 5 throws. So.
Correct. But I would just throw everything. If they did that, I would just change everything to 15 foot, which
sure
would I would probably not do as well for a few tournaments, but I think that in the long run it would be a wash.
Tyler Flynn replying to Kendra.
It's too long. Oh, well, you should tell Tabitha and you should tell me that, Tyler. Because I thought that they did do that, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only reason why I said it is because that came out
this weekend. I don't know where you were this weekend.
Because that was absolutely got brought up this weekend.
Yeah, we talked about it for a little bit, and then I don't know if it was ever looked up, but it didn't matter in the instance in which it happened, but that was a close one.
What's that?
I barely won that bet. I went to extra innings.
Yeah, I would love to know. There's no spinner. Okay. Because it was definitely brought up this weekend, and I think Tabitha also confirmed it.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty confident, but I didn't know for sure. So I asked her, and I guess wrong. Oh. Well, when I search rules and spin, nothing comes up. So that's cool.
Yeah, I don't
Rotation.
disagree with what you're saying there, Mike. On the amateur division.
All right, well, it doesn't show up at all when I type in spin, but I'm sure it's in here.
Yeah, I think wording things is always very difficult, Neil. We had a tournament committee meeting earlier, and we were trying to discuss terminology and what to use and stuff like that. And I honestly don't know that there isn't a terminology or a term for anything at this point in anything that doesn't offend somebody in some way, shape, or form. So, sometimes just gotta deal with it. Unfortunately, it does suck, and I completely understand it. Sure, it's just the culture we live in. I totally agree. I mean, but there'll be somebody who's offended that standard is just too boring of a term.
Yeah. Standard, isn't that like the same thing as a stick shift? People just
Standard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the world we live in right now. So. World where people just eat cats.
people watch that. I see it. I mean, I guess a lot of people on my timeline did, but I didn't.
I do not disagree with you, Jacob, at all.
Oh, there's a lot of, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of people that are amateur and happy to be it.
Sure.
Ooh, I actually found that most people playing amateur were more encouraged to continue to throw amateur and were excited about it.
I would agree on that as well. I do think that a lot of it just comes down to perception and being able to create positivity around it. I know I've said this multiple times in the different podcasts, but like, I don't. We have people throwing am in our venue who, I mean, I think there's maybe one or two people total out of our entire league who aren't going for the outer things at this point. Like, people have realized like it's not the worst to want to get better and to do the other things. And I mean, our average it's just all about how you look at it. Like I think my average right now is like 49 or maybe 48, but I don't care about average. I care about rating. That's what I'm looking for is rating. Did I hit the red thing or the blue thing? Average does help that, but really it's did I hit the blue thing? because that's what gives you the multiplier and gets you the higher rating. So I think it's a perception thing, and being able to relay that to the throwers and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, we had people who were excited to have closer games. We had maybe a few people who were very negative about it at the beginning. You know, it's a perception thing.
I think that the negativity that we had nothing to do with them throwing against a person that was throwing from 15 foot, though. The negativity that we had was just people didn't want there to be a change.
Yeah.
But I think anybody that's like interested in competing further was very glad to have the new division, and excited about being able to go to tournaments and, you know, quote unquote, have a chance. Which I think has been kind of proven by there being a different winner every time this year for the amateur tournaments. I think that could be wrong. There might have been somebody that won twice, but I don't think so.
Tell you what, we're getting like some long comments. I'm trying to read them and keep with
long.
them all.
A new long one coming.
100%. What Mike just said in that last one. It's going to be different from league to league and venue to venue, and it is very much a perception thing. And
yeah, it's going to be every person is different, right? Like we have people in our league that don't care to lose, and they would be so excited if they got, you know, within 10 points or had a chance to beat me, or even beat me because I missed 2 kills in the old rules and they didn't go for a single kill.
yeah.
Like, I don't see how that's any different. But yeah, the wins and losses don't mean a lot. It just amplifies the fact that you're not playing the same game, with the difficulty level is so different. You're not actually playing for average as an advanced player currently. I actually was kind of hoping for a good average with mine, so I don't know.
Yeah, you have the
average really helps your rating, so
average is factored into the rating.
Yeah.
But it, you know, whether you have you can have a 5-point rating or 5-point average discrepancy and, you know, still have a decent rating.
yeah, I
Person
mean,
to person.
earlier somebody asked, it was like way up there. They were like, you know, do you think that we lost half the throwers? Well, we also lost like 20% of venues. So I mean, there's some throwers for you that are gone.
Yeah, there's so many people say like, "Oh, we lost all these throwers," and the rules just.
I will tell you that I do think that leagues will be. I think that the size of leagues is a lot of the same thing that Mike and Tyler are suggesting right now, that people's attitudes are part of it. And so I do think that league runners having a better attitude about the rules will help there be bigger leagues next year. I do think that the leagues will be bigger next year, but not 50%.
No, I think you will have venues. You will have venues that had people. The venues where people were the most negative about rules for 2024 will see an increase in league members. If not, you know, maybe even just the first season, because they're going to try out the new thing and they don't have to throw 15 foot anymore. But it's not going to take us from 3,800 throwers to 10,000 where we were. It's probably not going to take us to 5,000. I mean, the massive drop in throwers is due to the massive drop in venues. I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, can continue to beat a dead horse and about that. I mean, like, honestly, that's what it is. Like,
and it's too late, you know, like, because.
And that's not to do with anything with the rules. That's just to do with the nature of business and the economy and everything else right now.
I mean, every venue that's closed in the last year is because of the 2024 rules, though. Everybody.
Yeah.
And for those that can't tell, that was sarcasm. Nobody has closed because of the new rules. And if for some...
I can assure you that I closed my Jasper, Indiana location this year because the 2024 rules.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I did
that's
not.
why.
I closed them because the community wasn't supporting the venue, regardless of what effort and advertising and stuff we put into things. So, like,
Well,
that's. I mean, did you close Murfreesboro Axe because of the 2024 rules?
kind of the guy that
That guy who hit it was he was drunk
was
because he was pissed about the rules.
he read the 2024 proposed rules,
Perfect.
and he was so drunk after reading them because he was upset that he then got in his car, hit our venue, and then, so I mean, kind of it was the 2024 rules.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we will see an increase, but it will not be. It will not be industry changing.
Yeah. So
You're gonna have. I mean, if you want to talk rule changes, making an industry change, they could do that in knife. You would see a massive swing in knife, but in axe, you're not going to see that. Not right now.
by doing what? How could they get nice?
They could make a few minor rule changes, and they could exponentially grow
I
knife.
think they could just make one rule change and grow it by 40%.
Sure. What's your one rule change?
I mean, I don't want them to do it. So, but
Okay, I know what yours. Yeah, you for sure.
I mean, I'll say it. I don't care. If they got rid of two spin, which would be
Yeah.
terrible, or added a division, which would be just as terrible.
Yeah, it would make the most sense, but it would be adding another thing.
It would be adding another thing. It would be quite awful, but only doing from 10 foot would just be so boring.
Yeah.
And it would get a lot more people to throw, though.
Yeah, opening up other manufacturers, and doing single spin
I don't think the manufacturers would get that many more new people to join. I don't think the growth would be that crazy.
No, but you would notice.
No, you wouldn't. You would notice that more people were throwing those knives, but they're people that are already
That's what
throwing
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but they're already throwing, so you wouldn't be new people.
Yeah, I mean, you might see some other people coming into it just because that was the big hate with a lot of the
Less than 30 people.
Probably right. Just as many that we would probably see who come back to axe throwing.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton of people.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such an interesting topic, and we have spent the last year looking at this thing, looking at the topics, looking at. I mean, that's the whole point of us doing Pro League series last year was to test things in a setting where the largest number of really focused people in the sport are at. Sure, I mean, most of them are not, people walking in the door, brand new throwers, but we put a lot of work and effort into testing things, and
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't think that happened. So
Alex is really doubting that Tyler did the research to figure out how many people we lost every year in league, and that's.
Bro, I did the research too. Like
yeah. I assure you, Alex,
I have spent many hours looking at this stuff.
It has decreased that amount every year. The problem, like Tyler already mentioned, is that
you can go back on you can go back 5 episodes or 10 episodes. There's a podcast where I get very passionate about the decrease and the numbers. There are massive swings. Now the difference is there were massive swings before, but they were just being replaced because there were venues that were, just getting those people.
Yeah.
Alex, I promise you, Tyler has done the research. He probably, I don't know if it was Waddle on, he may not be able to get
I don't think every single year has been 50%.
But it's been massive percentages.
But very large percentages. And I think the only thing that he said also happened 50% was the same amount of existing throwers, not new throwers, counted, that happened in ITF this year. But yes, it's around 40%, I think, that it happens. So The new IETF rules got them, Yosh. Hate to see it.
What about the one with the clutch they put in the center as the bullseye? Isn't that
IETF rules got them.
new ITF rules?
Probably just the new waddle rules had such an effect that it actually just made that IETF place closed too, just from, you know, people hearing about axe throwing rules changing. They just got caught in it, caught in a stray. Oh, 100% Kendrick, for a lot of places, for the venues, that is more important. 100%.
If you
I would say venues get almost. I would say that the top, how many ever throwers, I don't know a number you want to put out there, but the top 100 throwers probably are like make up way less than 1% of axe venues revenue.
yeah, that's a definite. I mean, you can look at it that direction. You can look at it from a retail perspective, just to customers in general. It's way cheaper to retain customers than it is to find new customers.
Yeah. Also, Alex, those 1,000 people actually pay Waddle $0.
That's right.
It does not matter how many people there are.
It
No,
amazes that also is an interesting thing that I don't think that a lot of people realize is that like the money that those people who are doing league they
Tyler
pay.
said the same thing.
What's that?
Tyler said the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter how many people there are that are
Yeah,
throwing league because $0 goes to Waddle.
yeah. Waddle doesn't own the app. A whole different company owns the app. That money goes to that company, not to Waddle. Now venues do pay dues to Waddle.
Yes. Venues, if venues are alive, then it will still be a thing. It will not, it'll only matter, if there's enough throwers to keep venues open in order to keep Waddle open. And if there's enough throwers, they go to Bad Axe.
That's absolutely not true because there are a number of venues who are Waddle venues who sign up for Waddle and don't run any leagues. Period.
There's a lot of them. There are several Bad Axe locations, which is owned by Waddle, and they don't run leagues at all.
Backwards. Bad Axe owns Waddle.
Well, there are several venues, Bad Axe, that are
Maybe.
owned by the same
Maybe.
owner as
Allegedly.
Waddle. And yeah, there's it's not
Now
just
that's a whole nother topic that I would love to talk about. I personally believe that if you are a Waddle venue, you should be forced to run leagues. However,
no, that's hard.
other people don't feel that way because the people who are signing up, a lot of times they're just signing up because they want to be able to buy axes at a discount.
Okay, you have to pay a penalty if you don't run the league.
Bingo, agreed to that big time. Not necessarily a penalty, you just pay higher affiliate dues. And I've already presented that essentially. I mean, I've said that that should be a thing. Like, if you pay $100 right now, so like I pay, I don't even know what I pay. I think I pay $100 a month. If you make that $500, I know. I totally, yeah, I mean, we know that. But if the affiliate dues were $500 to be a Waddle affiliate, and you were going to do all the things to become a Waddle affiliate, or do all the things, you want it for the discount for insurance, which is worthless. It's $100. Terrible. The price of axes, cool. And you're going to run leagues, which is going to help affiliates. It's going to help, the sport. It's not going to help Waddle. It's not going to help anything. It's going to help the sport. Then boom, okay, cool. You get $400 off. Now you're paying $100 again. But if you just want it for insurance, which once again worthless, but you want the axes, which is not necessarily worthless, then cool. Okay, you get to pay $300 now. You're setting that $500 price. Who cares? That's MSRP. And then you just price it whatever you want. So it looks like they're getting a deal regardless. That's what happens in every retail store that you go into.
I don't know. But this is the most comments we've probably had on a episode, which is nice.
Definitely the most words typed. May not be the most number of comments because I haven't seen that thing where it says like where you've got like, oh, you got 200 comments on this thing. We've definitely had some of those. But word count, this is big.
Word count for sure.
What's annoying though is that like I'll have to go to Restream to read all these comments because if you go to Facebook and click the video, it like won't put the comments in until people do it, which is annoying.
Yeah. Yo, shoot.
Is there 400 comments? Sweet. So we got 400 comments.
Yosh says that if you want Waddle to fail, maybe you should just say so. I don't know if you're talking to us, but I don't. But
yeah, we don't want Waddle to fail.
Oh, Kendra, see, your old bowling's already messed up there. No wonder you guys are having trouble.
Isn't that?
You don't even have the right amount of bowling pins.
Isn't that duck pin bowling? Or is that 10 pins too?
No, duck pin still has 10. I don't know what 5 is, but it sounds cool.
It's just a 3-2-1.
Yeah.
No, actually, it'd just be a 3-2. 5 pins.
It's just like they just put pins out there. Canada has no rules. They're like, look, this is ice. This is a ball.
How do you do 1, 2, 3?
You don't.
What kind of shape is that?
It's just a diamond.
Very small balls, which is like duck pin.
1-3-1.
What?
I feel like I'm running a defense in soccer.
That's what. Yeah, there's way too many people though.
2-3-5-3-2.
4-1-2-1-2. That's the best one. That's the best.
That's 15. Okay, that's 13. I don't know, Kendra. These have been only 5 pins that you've given us so far.
No, it started with 5 pins in the middle.
Yeah.
4-1-2-1-2. Would you agree?
I forgot about the conversion. John's right. The Canadian conversion rate is probably different for bowling pins. Pin values? The pins are worth different things? Oh, now I'm all confused.
Nobody can ever complain about axe throwing rules if this is how Canadian bowling is.
Yeah, we're going to have to go. I don't know why I'm acting like I have to wait. Canadian bowling rules. Oh, it's just called 5-pin bowling. Play in Canada. Well, show me it.
Oh, so it's 5 pins, and 1 pin is worth 1 point, then 3 points, then 5 points, 3 points, 1 point.
It's just those really big pins.
And the balls don't have holes. That's the best when the balls don't have holes. Originally, it was 4-2-1-3-5. 4-2-1.
Then.
Oh, wait a minute. When was this originally? Was this like
1952? It changed to 2-3-5-3-2.
I bet there was uproar.
It wasn't until 1953 that Ontario switched to that, and then it wasn't until 1954 that the rest of Canada.
When was their last rule change?
Oh gosh, couldn't tell you.
Doesn't tell you.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of rule changes, but I'm just on the Wikipedia. Oh gosh. The ball is. Oh, balls for 5-pin bowling are the same size as those for duck pin bowling.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, learn something new every day. Big Tier 2 in Texas this next weekend. The Battle of the Axis. All right,
Midlothian.
John Price. What do you mean by big? Is there anything that actually makes it big, or is it just because it's in Texas?
I think they're doing the Tata Awards or whatever there.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make the tournament big.
It might. I thought everything was bigger in Texas.
I mean, that's what I thought too, but I went to the one last year and it wasn't
The only thing that's not bigger in Texas is Money Matt. He's still the same size
the same.
everywhere. Any more fun discussions on the rules? Or do we want to talk about another thing?
Oh, nobody wants to talk about rules anymore. But, okay, but seriously, on the rules, if you haven't thrown them, throw them. If you can, try to. Just check them out. Give them a try.
So I could answer. I mean, I could answer one thing on what this last big comment was, but it would probably get us in trouble.
What?
Looks
Just
like
whisper it.
the looks like Waddle is doing that, which is great.
What? Changing the rules?
I mean, we can talk about it afterwards. I'm not going to get into it because
Okay.
it will for sure. It would for sure get us in trouble.
Yeah,
And
Coleman
I'm
has a
just
good
not.
idea for ninth. Instead of adding one spin as its own thing, we just switch everything to 6 spin. Coleman, you would be so screwed if we changed that. You can barely even throw 2 spins. Your knife doesn't even land correctly. I want them to go back to 2023 rules, beginning of the year, where you can't throw Blackhawks anymore, and I'm gonna make them put Toby's on that list.
No, they're not Toby's. You're talking about Harpies.
Whatever, Toby's, Harpies, all of them are on the list.
Toby was the top.
You can throw are
top one.
Barbarians. Barbarians are the only thing you can throw from now on.
I just go back going. All you can throw is Merlins. Least amount of coverage possible.
Yeah, Coleman's right. His does only rotate like 1.7 times. It never makes it around to the second spin.
Yeah. The last thing we were going to talk about, which I think John Bryce is on here, which is good, is that
Hey, no, everybody that's watching right now, look away for a second. Don't look at the thing for a second. Coleman. That's what I think about the hook. Everybody can look back now.
Is after the next two tournament, or after, well, I guess the next major tournament, the next thing after that is AmChamps.
Atlanta.
And Lucas and I have volunteered to
Good wording. Good wording.
to do the live stream for AmChamps. And we are looking for sponsors for the live stream. If you are interested in sponsoring, we do have a sponsor packet we can send out.
Yeah, we'll even take small sponsors. Like if you as a person want to sponsor us.
Yep. I do believe that the largest sponsor spot is taken, I think, by John Price. But we do have some more commercial spots available, which is in the $500. Keith, I'm going to ask if you could message me separate, because the comment will get buried. But yeah, just shoot me a message, and I can send you that packet. But yeah, we're doing the live stream for the amateur portion only. The pros can suck it or fuck off or whatever. We don't care about the pros. We're there to live stream the AMs. So
yeah, the same message to the
because
pros.
we think you deserve it.
Same message that I gave Coleman a second ago to the pro tournament, to the Commissioner's Cup.
Yep.
Oh, All right, I meant to do this earlier. People have already stopped arguing, but real quick before, everybody gets that out of their system, I would like to propose a question. And please don't respond unless you have earned a pro bid already. So there might not be that many people on here. But what if Waddle changed the rules at the beginning of 2025 and that meant that they also changed it for Worlds?
Yeah, that's better. I mean, they're going to change it at the beginning of 2025.
Yeah, yeah. But every tournament beyond January 1 was 2025 rules, including Worlds.
Until they make the 2026 rules. Or rules.
Well, yeah. Or the 2025.5
Yes,
rules.
what he's really saying is Worlds is going to be on 2024 rules. If you've already earned a pro bid, would you be upset if they changed it to the new rules and made it easier?
Would you be like, oh, I'm not going to Worlds?
Comment
I'm
away.
Tommy, you have to have a bid to answer.
Yeah. You have to also know how to use Zoom.
My chat game. Oh, there you go. Oh, where'd that
thing
go?
because I want to
No, no, okay. okay.
No. We're not talking about that. That's not a
Time out,
master.
time out.
Just
Time out.
Hatchet.
What if it was just Hatchet? Yeah, I don't, whatever. Big Axe schools, please don't. But those are dumb anyways. But they might. But let's assume that they were able to separate them and only do Hatchet.
And also, there's been zero discussion of this. This is absolutely hypothetical because
Yeah. I'm just curious because I have my own theory, and my theory is that there wouldn't be that many people that are upset about it. But I'm happy to be wrong as well. Maybe I think that most people wouldn't be mad about it because I wouldn't be that mad about it. But
yeah,
Tyler, shut up about other disciplines. We're only talking about Hatchet right now. Okay. Mike's gonna get his, and Mike's okay with it. That's one. Tyler is coming up with 17 other disciplines that make him not happy about it. But I'm just gonna mark him down as yes as well. He's happy. He's okay with it. Anybody else? Anybody? I guess that's all we have left.
It'd be cool if Restream had a widget that we could do a poll.
You could do it on Facebook, I think, still. You used to be able to do it on Facebook. All right. Neil's in. All right, we're at 3.
John, I don't know what, did you see what his comment was?
Kendra, go ahead. You can
Be
vote.
curious to see what the viewing public, ESPN, thinks about the 2024 rules. I don't think they care at all. The viewing public, I don't think cares at all.
Yeah, they don't even know that we changed them, probably.
No.
All right, Neil's a yes. So basically, I haven't gotten a no yet. So don't be scared. If you're the person that says no, nobody's going to make fun of you except for me. And I'll do it gently. Austin's a yes. Okay, we got another one. Yeah, it would be boring. Oh, I didn't even see racket feet.
Why would you not want it to? Why? Don't just say no to say no, though.
Okay, Keith, once again, I did say that you needed to earn the bid to answer, so we're not listening. Yoshi, also not throwing advanced, so we're going to not accept your answer either. Tommy, maybe. I don't know if Tommy even has.
We will accept your answer when you win, or if you win AmChamps, though, right?
Yeah.
Or is it win, or is it a?
No, it's like 8 spots.
8 spots. If you're one of the 8 that finish in the top 8 of AmChamps, then I guess, or whatever it is. I don't know if it's 8.
All right, so Kendra is our no so far. She said she hasn't gotten her email, but we're going to count it. So Kendra says no. I do think that it does make sense to throw on the rules that you are in the bid on, unless they're getting easier. Then I just don't really see why that even matters.
Agreed. If it was getting harder, or staying close
If
to
it
the
was getting
same.
harder,
Yeah.
then I would understand. But you're taking away 30% of the challenge or more. I don't think it really matters, but
30?
I don't. I mean,
It has to be more.
you think so?
Yeah, Neil, how many 64s have you thrown?
No. Well,
He just threw four. He threw 4 out of 10. I mean, that's
Tommy's thinking economical here. One less axe to bring. See how much people are saving. The United Airlines and American Airlines, they're going to be hurting. We're not checking that extra bag.
why are you even talking about United or American?
Well, I'm just because Tommy's a peasant and he does stuff like that.
Southwest. So 4 out of 11. Yeah, it's way more than that.
Yeah, but I don't know that yeah, but the game got 30% easier
I think it got more
by
than that.
just taking away 15 foot.
I hope it got more than that.
No.
By just taking away 15 foot?
Yeah, I mean, I did
Sure.
50
And then add another 30% for making the bullseyes and the fives big as hell.
bunch of more,
60% easier.
bunch of 64s. Were you still missing kills though? Were you getting 56s? You get some 40 somethings. You missed both one game.
Here's another thing, Coleman. Here's another question, not just for Coleman, for everybody. How many people will attend the tournaments prior to the World Championships if the rules change, but Worlds is different?
I mean,
Because you can statistically look at tournaments prior to the World Championships and tournaments after the World Championships, and it is statistically more. There were statistically more people after Worlds going to tournaments than there were before, and you can relate that to people who were just didn't want to do the new stuff until after the World Championships.
I was reading comments while you were talking, so I don't know what I don't know what you just said.
You're okay.
But yes, the averages will go back up to that. Oh, for sure, it will change the outcome, Tyler. I'm not even continuing. I'm not even trying to argue that it doesn't change the outcome. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, I think just playing the tournament again this weekend would change the outcome.
Who's Racket Feet?
I don't know.
I keep
It's
seeing you pop in here, and I can't tell who's in the picture.
Oh, I don't even see a picture. Where do you see pictures?
In my view of the chat thing.
Oh, my view is just a little YouTube symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a better view.
How do you have a cooler view?
I don't know. It's just the view that I get in Google Chrome. Austin Wilkins is Racket Feet. Okay, cool. Now I got a name too.
If I lose to Tyler again, I'll probably stop competing altogether. If I had done that, I wouldn't have made it very far.
Yep.
I mean, that guy beat me twice this weekend. Three. Twice in Big Ags. Once in duels. It's terrible.
Terrible.
All right, that was just I just wanted to know. Sounds like about 80 to 90% of people were okay with it, but we all agree it would change the outcome.
So one other quick thing. So Kendra, you say, but whether someone at the top gets 10 or a perfect 28 game season, it doesn't diminish the excitement for a person getting their first one. You are correct. Neither should the rules. That's perception. Excitement is a feeling that can be altered by anybody in the room. You got a negative person in the room, they can completely ruin any excitement.
Neil, I did go for left kill. But that was in Big X, so new throw. Who this? I don't know. All right, back to AM Champs though. Those rules are staying the same for the time being, so just enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, I think it's weird that it's a 64-person tournament that's gonna have like 70 people in it.
Commissioning stuff, that's a different thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about that part. The part that we don't care about streaming.
John's gonna bowl a five pin bowling with his 10-pin ball.
Perfect game coming up.
That's right. I have faith in you. So I'm really excited for AM Champs though.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how pool play goes.
Oh yeah, same. I do wish that would have been done differently too, because I would have done that. I would have done pool play Friday.
That's what I said too. And Tyler had a response to it, and I don't remember what it was, but I think there was a way to do it.
Yeah, because like I just feel like if you do pool play and maybe you do pool play Friday and a portion of Saturday because of timing, like I just feel like if I'm going to AM Champs and I'm gonna do a tournament Friday to get into pool play Saturday, like I may not go on Friday because of the risk of potentially just playing 2 games, where if I was guaranteed to play 8 games, I feel like I would rather like do that. I feel like I'd get more of my money's worth in a tournament than potentially playing 2 games and being done.
For sure. There's definitely, I mean, there would have been more of an incentive to sign up if you knew you were going to get, 4 or 5 games or something. I do know that it would have been a little bit more challenging to figure out where people would fit, maybe. But yeah, I think there's, can't remember what Tyler said though, because I told him that I thought it should be that way, and he said, well,
Tyler, what'd you say? I know you're still watching.
it told me something cool, but I don't remember what it was.
He's probably just typing. It's gonna be a real long one.
I can't wait. But yeah, either way, I'm excited for pool playing. I mean, I almost wonder if, could tournaments ever be pool play?
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe they could be. Maybe that's the future.
Maybe that'll be the next thing.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, maybe that's what could happen. Like if they do it again, maybe next time. I don't think they're going to do that again. Oh,
Tommy, get out of here.
Tommy, so the way pool play works is, let's say...
You ever watched a World Cup?
No, just shut up and explain it. I'll explain it.
Explain it.
So, Tommy, me, you, Sebastian, Kyle, and Tyler are all in one pool.
And Kyle doesn't advance.
We would all play each other one time. And then, based upon playing each other, the person with the best record would make it out. And then, maybe there's some ties or anything, but basically you come up with tiebreakers, and then there's usually 2 or 3 people that get out of the pool. So then you could reshuffle and make new pools, or you can make it a single elim bracket or a double elim bracket or whatever from there. But typically it's you take, a group of teams or people, and only you get to play everybody in that group or pool, and then only 1 or 2 make it out.
Kendra, do you think their deep and abiding loathing of pool play is due to the fact that pool play can take a long time, and the green team, like, I mean, there's a fair amount on both sides that like to do this, but like
Yeah.
they want to drink a lot and have more fun and stuff like that. Like, I would just rather throw more. And I feel like with pool play, you would throw a lot more, or at least have the potential to throw a lot more.
What is the problem with pool play then that people have, Kendra?
She
And what
she
Tyler,
said no, she said no, that she doesn't know the reason,
she doesn't know why people don't like it?
or at least that's what I assume that nope was for.
Oh, I thought the nope was because it didn't, not a timing thing. I thought that's what your question was.
Oh, sure. Oh, yes.
Oh, no,
probably
no,
so.
definitely not random. Hold on. There would still be seating for any pool that happened, in my opinion.
Yeah. You would still do seating.
And then I do think that it's a multi-day thing. I do think that pool play would happen one day and then possibly still a double elimination bracket the next day.
Yeah, never a fan of anything random seated.
Yeah, not random and not single elim, in my opinion. But
Yeah, like even like World Cup draws and stuff like that, like they're playing in things beforehand to essentially
get
like
seating.
weight their seating. Yeah.
And then what Tyler said, yes, you wouldn't have known exactly how many people, so there could have been the chance that the number of games would have been different and the amount of people in each pool. I think you could,
How do you not know how many people are going to show up?
because it's open sign up and there's no cap. So
So
you would have to,
So you
would-
can
and-
show up Friday and sign up.
No, that's what I'm saying. There is a cutoff. That's what I told him. Like, it just you wouldn't have been able to tell people how many games they were going to have until closer to time.
Makes
But
sense.
I do
Makes
think
sense.
you could have easily done. There was a way to do it. It would have been more complicated than having a bracket the first day. But
Yeah,
not that
Kendra,
much.
that's how it would go. Like you would do pool play until the final tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I do think single elim would be bad. Look, Yoshi played green stuff, green team, and he was fine with it.
Can you elaborate on why you liked it, Yoshi?
Oh yeah, Brandon and Keith are having a conversation in the comments too about Big X duels. So yeah, I don't know for sure if they're gonna have it again. I haven't heard anything about it, but I can't imagine with all of the things that are happening now that there will be time to do more fun stuff. Yeah, so I just think there's an advantage where you also can, you know, have a really bad game and still have a really good chance to be seated well in the next tournament. I don't know. I think you can throw a little bit worse or have a really off game and still be okay in pool play also. So I think it kind of anytime you can throw more, you can have a better chance of getting the true winner of anything. Like if Hatchet went to 25 throws, you increase the amount of throws per game.
5
Then-
rounds of 5. Best
No,
2 out of
just
3.
25 throws per game, still 3 games.
No.
75 throws per match.
At what point did you switch from the pink hat to your dad water hat?
I can't tell you.
Any other things?
Indra, we're on board with screw single elim brackets. But yeah, it does need to be defined, which actually we went over recently for AM champs, and unfortunately we couldn't convince them that head to head was the most important thing, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was very surprising.
Yeah.
Their rationale there, but it's their thing.
Yep. It happens. Oh my gosh. I'm about to have to get off this podcast just because my dryer or my washer won't shut up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something is off balance in it
Probably
apparently.
because you put your sunglasses in the washer.
They probably broke it.
The Pro-Am is Am Champs this year.
Yeah, Tommy, come on. It's like you don't even know what's going on.
You could have known all this if you just knew how to use Zoom.
Yeah.
You also have to use your keyboard whenever you send comments.
Yeah, but again,
There
Kendra,
it goes.
not random. No random. Random is stupid. Anything random is dumb if you're talking about competing.
Yeah. Everybody gets... There's multiple people who get screwed in random things.
No, John, actually, the dryer is not running. It's just beeping.
Tell Jenna to go shut it off.
She went in there a minute ago, and then I yelled at her and asked her if she couldn't fix it, and she didn't even respond, so I don't know what's going on.
It's because you put your sunglasses in the washer. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else put their sunglasses in the washer?
Yeah, this is how you wash them, right? This thing is actually still wet. I guess they were in my pocket or something. I don't know.
This is the longest episode we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Approaching.
Well, I'm about to end it abruptly
2
because I can't
hours.
take anything anymore. Oh, I lied. These were never in the washer, but do you think that Gooder would warranty that?
I was gonna say I saw that earlier. I was like, you definitely lost some,
I couldn't see it earlier
but yeah, they will.
because they've never been washed. I know that.
Yeah, I can give them a shot.
Just take a screenshot.
You got them on. You got it on both sides.
What?
You got it
Yeah.
on.
A little bit.
Oh, I
But this
thought. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you had it on the other side.
Yeah.
What are those called? Those are called.
Sunglasses, Neil.
No, shoot, I don't have the box next to me.
Neil, these are called sunglasses.
I'll
Oh
tell
wait,
you.
does it say it on them?
Yeah, on the arm.
It says "Look Mono Hands."
That's what it is. Look, Ma, no hands.
That's the style.
No, the style is Rap G's.
Whatever he said.
The style is Rap G's. The name is Look, Ma, no hands. I have Save a Bull Ride a Rodeo Clown next to me.
Do I wear them at night?
Actually, they're sitting next to me because I was going to say they could be the first prize we give away for Virtual Axe Throwing League.
Ooh.
They are.
Oh, we could just give these away. Let's give mine away.
They are pink and like a teal with the reflective lens. I also have a pair of I Do My Own Stunts.
I got a pink
Which are
Goliath
black
bag
and
that
pink.
is also being given away.
And do you both have them? Dude, I have like a whole... I got goggles next to me. I'm here for the hot toddies. I'll get them real quick. Hang on.
I actually have the ski goggles that look like this too.
They come in a real big case though.
What?
Put my headphones back on. The goggles do. They give me this like real big old case. And then they have an even bigger thing on them. Oh, the little
Anyone hear about that Hornet petition that's coming up tomorrow? John, how would somebody have heard about that?
I got these bad boys.
There you go. Those look like ski goggles.
I can't see shit in these. They have like a film over the front. Everything is so blurry. I cannot see anything. This will be interesting to go back and look at, but I got to take them off. They're
Too much.
till I take the.
So, I just found an envelope here
Yeah,
of a 2024 stencil.
you can see my screen. I've got Got 43-inch TV screen and a 32-inch monitor,
I just
just so I can see everything.
I just realized I didn't send out a 2024 stencil that I was supposed to.
Too.
But now, do you think that that person wants a 2024 stencil?
No, you're gonna have to refund. Actually, everybody who bought one needs to put in a warranty claim for the 2025 stencil.
Yep. Yeah, we're doing claims.
Costs $50 per warranty claim.
I was gonna do 25, but I guess we'll do 50. Yeah, $25 to
The dang goggles don't fit back in their little thing.
$25 to swap out your 2024 stencil for a 2025 stencil.
I'm not
yeah,
gonna give these away though. We'll give away
Yeah.
these.
While we're on here, I'm gonna do that.
These goggles have a flying squirrel tattoo in them. What's the name of the goggles? The goggles are Here for the Hot Toddies. Here for the Hot Toddies. They actually just came out with a couple other. They have some Astro G's now, which just make me think of Astro Glide for some reason. I think that was probably a terrible choice of naming them Astro G's. But the goggles are called Snow G's. And, like, they're really sweet goggles. And, like, most ski goggles, like a pair of Oakley ski goggles are outrageous. These are $75. And they come with multiple lenses, and they're sweet. Did you get a set of goggles? Did I give you a pair of goggles?
Jenna ordered some.
Oh, Jenna ordered some.
Well, I have them.
I remember saying something about that.
Yeah, we have them. I wore them when we went to.
I have all three of them because before they came out, they asked like if retailers wanted to test them, and so I said I'd test them, and I put them all on.
Yeah, I wore them in Yosemite.
Yosemite?
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell's
Yeah,
that?
when we went to Yosemite, California.
How many people are on here right now? A handful of people? We should do another in memoriam real quick for all these people.
Oh, yeah, other people.
All right, so we're going to do another in memoriam here real quick. We'll be back in just a second. That was funny. But just I also do the same thing I did the first time. What's funny is I was sitting in that chair for the entirety of Tyler's previous match. He came in to the room and I literally stood up to let him have the chair. So I was seconds away from that happening to me. But that poor chair is gone. But we thought that would be fun. And we wanted to make sure people at the beginning and the end got to see it too. So, but
yeah, I want to make sure you didn't miss that.
I did see somebody say, what was the sunglasses called? The sunglasses, they're Gooder, Goodr. They're Rap G's. And what were the purple ones called? Look Ma No Hands. And the other pair, they've got a whole bunch of different colorways, but the pair that we're going to give away, if you are a member or a participant in the virtual axe throwing league, is called Save a Bull, Ride a Rodeo Clown. No, not Astro G's. Astro G's are a new style they have that are fairly close. But
John, what were you saying about a petition earlier?
people in the Waddle community don't like petitions.
That's true. But I don't think it's for the Waddle community.
Oh,
I think it was for the WKTL community.
yeah, same, or close to.
Close relative. Tyler Flynn and scarves and hats. I think I saw some hats.
Yeah, just like the one you're wearing.
Yeah, very similar. Except for they just say dad on them, not water. I got some new merch coming out soon too.
Yeah, chicken tendies.
Yeah, do you want to see it?
Yeah, what you got?
Nah, I don't want to show them yet. But I got a couple of designs. I'll show you after.
Yeah, sounds good. And then I'll tell you what I was trying to
Say
mention.
early. Oh,
Although-
follow